Hello, this is your friend Haley Kreischer Kane coming to you from Detroit, Michigan. I'm sitting here with my sweet Chihuahua baby Gidget, who is asleep next to me, and I'm thinking about the fact that we are done with all of our shows for the year and reflecting on the incredible year we've had, and it's honestly making my head spin quite a bit because wow, we have been everywhere and doing everything. It feels like that anyways. Um, Actually, I just got so our Screeching Weasel adventure started in March of 2025, and I just got the beautiful poster framed of those first few shows at Reggie's in Chicago. And it's been really cool as we've toured with them to see people who have said, "Oh, I was at that show," or "I was at a different show with you guys," and Screeching Weasel, and it's a really cool, just group of people, I guess, that come together, and there's like a synergy between the bands that just is really cool to see when you talk to the audience members and stuff. Um, so yeah, we went to McHenry, Illinois. That was the first one. Two dates in Chicago with Screeching Weasel, and then we did Hobart, Illinois, at a beautiful Art Deco theater. Um, then we did Warrendale, Pennsylvania. We did Cleveland at the House of Blues, which was super iconic. I mean, that show was just such a cool show because of the venue, because it felt so historic and beautiful. Um, then we did Cincinnati. Um, we did St. Andrew's Hall. Oh my gosh. That's so crazy that we did that. We did St. Andrew's Hall, super historic venue in Detroit that I just would never think of myself playing. And that was a really cool show too, because there were people that came out from the Detroit music scene that I knew and was able to just, I don't know, just sit in that, the beauty of, I guess, playing a big venue in the town where you live. This is definitely a nice to have, not a guaranteed. And Screeching Weasel giving us the platform and the stage to perform for these audiences has been absolutely amazing. When you want to have staying power or make a splash in your own hometown, and I guess I would say Detroit is something like a hometown at this point. You have to be careful because you're so tied to the city that you might be seeking, some sort of brass ring or award or something, playing that venue or this or getting that, attention from that publication or whatever it is. And so I always was very careful when we moved to Detroit to be like, well, we're in Detroit. It's a great place to tour from. It's very well located to tour East Coast and, the Midwest and somewhat the South. And, um, you know, that's what's cool about it. It's not like the music scene is really great too, of course, super vibrant music scene. But yeah, we weren't trying to, we didn't have any illusions that we were going to be playing St. Andrew's Hall. Let's put it that way. So the fact that we got to do that in Detroit, such a historic venue, was really special. Um, let's see, what else did we do? Just do the Pyramid Scheme, that was in Grand Rapids. Super cool venue. And finished it up with Columbus. And so yeah, my gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, 10 shows. 10 shows of Screeching Weasel this year. Um, Really kind of a shot in the arm for the band. And if you're here because you saw us on these shows, hello, welcome. Um, it's been interesting to see people, like, even we just did like a Halloween show in Detroit, and there was somebody there who had just seen us at St. Andrew's Hall and was now seeing us at, Paris Bar, which feels a lot more like a dive bar. It is more like a dive bar venue. And, I'm dressed as Ginger Spice, and Dr. Kane is in a leopard outfit, and our guitar player is wearing a fuzzy bear outfit. He was actually the murder bear from the cartoon Venture Brothers, but whatever. He looks like a teddy bear with blood on him. And then our drummer Gabe is, wearing a Beanie Baby outfit. He had the big TY thing around his neck and stuff. So like he was saying, yeah, I'd never heard of you guys, and then to see you guys at St. Andrews Hall, and then he saw us again at this dive bar. It's just really cool because, they get to see both sides of the band, and I think we're a band that always aspired to play larger stages and creates a show that makes sense on a larger stage. But a lot of times we don't get that opportunity. So all that to say, this time with Screeching Weasel has been incredibly special. We've learned a lot. We've made mistakes and learned and had technical difficulties and had to rise to the occasion, which is all the stuff that you want to happen when you get a cool opportunity, because like the growth is part of it, right? And it's just been really, really a special time for us. So I wanted to reflect on that and just thank everybody who came out to see us with Screeching Weasel, and Raging Nathans, who joined us for several of the dates, um, and just say, wow, we're so grateful. What a time. What a time to be alive. What a time for melodic punk rock. Who thought, 2025 was going to be a good year for melodic punk? But it is. And I'm saying it is, so it is. So yeah, we just did a Halloween show. We called it, or we didn't name it this. We get no credit for the name, the Tylenol Ball. Croon, the artist known as Croon in Detroit, who is very interesting, and you should check them out. They came up with it after RFK decided to tell everyone that Tylenol gives you autism. So we decided to have acetaminophen. I can't say it very well. A neurodivergent soiree, if you will, and along with Cult of Space Skull, who graciously invited us onto the bill. Cult of Space Skull is a feast for the senses. The show started with Michelle, the Red Witch, and cult leader, parting the audience like the Red Sea, but with a literal sword that was on fire. And I'm not talking about fake fire, fully on fire. In fact, I'm going to link to the Detroit Metro Times article that has some photos from that event that shows you Croon in all of their glory, with the pointed elf ears and glowing orb, Cult of Space Skull, and, a lot of blood, guts, and gore for that band. Very gore in terms of the stage performance, as well as some of the costumes that were there and people that were there. So I'll share that. But yeah, with that, we are done with shows for the end of the year. Detroit Tylenol Ball. Tylenol Ball was our last show with our drummer Gabe, who we love dearly and are devastated. Like, it sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but I'm not. I'm just scared I'm gonna break down. We are devastated we're losing Gabe, but we're parting on very good terms. He is making more room in his life for his actual life, and let's just say a lot of these travels and tours and big opportunities have been so great for all of us, but have been challenging for some of us that are working traditional jobs and want to have a normal life, and it's hard to kind of do both, right? So we totally wish him well on living a real full life that doesn't require all the stress and headache that goes along with, traveling all over the place, which I gladly take on because I love it, even though it is extremely tiring at times. But all this to say, Gabe is an incredible drummer and has a piece of our hearts, and we created a little award for him and presented it on stage. It's like a little like piece of wood with some drumsticks wrapped in tinfoil attached to it, and it says thank you for 2 years of service. And it was really cute to present that to him, although he deserves a better award or monetary, like maybe a cash prize or a watch. But with the Crushers, what are you going to get, right? This is all part of the Crushers experience. And I have to give props to, Dr. Kane for actually creating the award, because I was busy trying to get my Spice Girls outfit together and do my makeup, and he whipped it up like he always does, creating something out of nothing. So, um, thank you, Gabe. We love you. We are doing drummer tryouts at the moment. We're about a month into that, and we're having various people come in. Some people come back to do a second one, and it's been, you know, I'd like to say it's been stressful and just leave it at that, but I think there's more to it than just the stress of having to, just find somebody who you feel like could never, take we don't feel like anyone could take Gabe's place. So it's like you kind of go at it thinking a little bit negatively because we love our drummer so much and he's such a talented drummer. It's hard sometimes to believe that there's other people out there. And also, the continual um, finding of drummers. I mean, this might be our 12th drummer, maybe more. It's just a lot, and it's just a lot. So we're working on it. Hopefully, we'll find someone. If you know anybody, send them our way. Must be willing to tour. Must be in the Detroit area. Yes, we have a great team in California and a guitar player and drummer and a couple drummers, and we are so lucky that we can go to the West Coast and we have our Crusher friends there. But we do need someone local to Detroit. What else? Let's see. We have shows coming up next spring. Those are announced. If you're interested in those, we have Baltimore in March 2026, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, and St. Charles, Illinois. And those are all with Screeching Weasel, who is taking us on tour again. How lucky are we? This will be our fourth run with them. And like I said, it's been just a joy. Like the entire group of them is, what's the word? Like they're all so different. I feel like they are, most of them, there's one guy, Ginger, who's more newer to the band, but most of these guys have been playing together for over 10 years and they had a very long hiatus. So coming back together and then playing the amount of shows that they're playing, it's incredible to witness just how together and tight and just explosive their set is, and to see these people so happy to be, you can tell they're really happy to be playing together. um I want to go into like a little monologue about each member of Screeching Weasel, but I fear that that will be too long, and um I think at some point I need to go and carve pumpkins. I have a pumpkin carving date, so I just wanted to come on here, and I had been putting it off because there had been so much that's happened, after all these great, shows, and Gabe, stepping away from the band, and I'm sure there's other things I need to talk about, but every time I would think about coming on here, I'd just be so overwhelmed by the backlog of stuff that I hadn't shared with you guys. And if you're following us on social media, then you're probably getting at least like somewhat of a taste of what's going on, but I've been like, oh my gosh, I need to do a Crusher talk and catch all you guys up to what's happening in our lives and with our dogs and what's happening in our house and stuff. Um, what was I going to say? I had a good point here. It wasn't about shows. Oh, as we have a new merch store, which I don't know if I've talked about on here since it's been open, but it's at haleyandthecrushers.com and then click store. Or you can just go to, I believe it's, let me find the link, direct link. It's a Shopify site. We got the cheapest option, so the domain's a little annoying, but it's haleyandthecrushers.com.myshopify.com, and we've had a bunch of new designs slapped up there, and some really cool new popular ones. There's a ringer tee that people are really digging on tour. That's sort of like a vintage inspired, and then we have a couple baseball tees, so that's new. But my point of what I really want to talk about was we decided, or Dr. Kane, of course, not me, because I knew this was going to be too niche for the general public, but Dr. Kane does what he wants to do, okay? He does what he wants to do. He created several 90210 inspired t-shirts and mugs. And I'll have to do a Crusher Talk where I just talk about 90210 because it's been an incredible blast from the past that's come back into my life. The original 90210 came out in the early 90s, and I watched it as a younger sister. So my older sister was really the watcher, the person turning it on. But I was watching, with my sister. And so I have so many memories. And also, because it's filmed in Southern California and a lot of it's on the beach, although there is no 90210, Beverly Hills Beach Club doesn't really exist. I think they filmed in Venice or Santa Monica quite a bit. It reminds me of growing up in Hermosa Beach the first 10 years of my life. And not only does it remind me location wise, but also the fact that everybody's wearing those early 90s colors and windbreakers, and there's dolphin shorts, and there's Dylan in his like rolled up white t-shirt looking like James Dean, and Brandon kind of also looking like James Dean, but maybe a Disney version of James Dean. And all the girls, we got Tori and Brenda and Kelly, oh my gosh, and Andrea. And just Reed and I have been just diving into all of these episodes that are new to us at this point because it's been so long. And like I said, I watched it with my big sister, so I was watching it, but I kind of knew it wasn't for me, and I was very like, she had the Dylan and Brandon like Barbie dolls, so we would like play 90210 with our dolls. And so rewatching it now as an adult has been so fun. We're loving it. And in fact, I talk a bit about this on the Sparkle and Destroy podcast that I record with my good friend Danielle. If you haven't checked that out, go ahead. It's an antidote to the news, I guess, because we really don't talk too much about what's happening politically and at the moment, all the craziness that's happening in the world. We just really focus on granular level hobbies, movies we've seen, just gabbing and chewing the fat or whatever. So if you want to have like sort of a ground level, cozy, two friends talking kind of experience, this is definitely the show for you. If that annoys the crap out of you and you love structure, do not listen because it will probably not be for you. But yeah, so this 90210 merch anyways, it's become some of my favorite merch. I have the 90210, I think it's the Dylan shirt. It's black and then it has 48212 on it, which is our zip code here in Detroit, in the 90210 logo colors and everything. So cute. And I love it. And we have not sold even one 90210 piece of inspired merch. Not only that, but everyone I talk to either says they're too young to remember it or they didn't really watch it. So I'm just here to say, if anybody wants to talk about 90210 with me, I'm very game, and so is Dr. Kane. We are every night. We're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Kelly and Dylan are together now. This is crazy. While Brenda is currently overseas in France doing a like a internship or like a school program, study abroad program, and there's drama, there's kissing, there's walks on the beach, there's really funny like early 90s lingo that you never hear anymore, like lamo and dillweed, and what else? Psych. I think I'm hearing some of the first instances of psych. There's a little bit of Pauly Shore referencing, I think, happening here a little bit. It's just a really great thing to disassociate from the news at the moment. I'm sure I'm missing so much stuff. I just feel like my head is spinning around because, like I said, we've had such a beautiful year. It's been really cool. On top of the Weasel dates, of course, we've had our own shows and we've gotten to go so many cool places and just connect with so many cool people. And I think we started off the year with our masquerade. Could that possibly be this year? Was our mid-century masquerade in 2025 or was it in 2024? So this is what I'm talking about. No, I think it was 2024. So 2025 started out with Gosh, I should think back. I know I went to Portland and did like a little writing retreat in Portland in the beginning of the year. And then we did, oh yeah, we played LA, we played Long Beach, downtown LA, and Santa Maria. That's right, in California, starting the year. And that was really cool. We're not going to have any California dates. Um, like I said, this is the end for 2025. We're done. No shows. No shows until March, probably. When we head back to Detroit, we're going to go to the West Coast for 2 months and then head back to Detroit around early March. So you'll probably see us around mid-March if you want to catch us at a show. Otherwise, you'll just have to keep up with us on all the platforms and things, and we'll work on just like, keeping up with you guys. I'm sure there's more, like I said. I don't know why I keep saying that. I think because I'm going to go back and be linking all the things I was referencing and go, oh my gosh, I forgot to talk about this important thing. Oh my gosh, I forgot this. I forgot that. But you know what? You get what you get, as Trixie Mattel says. They get what they get, and I will gladly give you B minus work because A plus work is unattainable. So on that note, have a great rest of your day, your week, your month, wherever you are in time and space, and I will catch you next time I pop on. Okay, take care. Bye.